This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin One expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin One is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at taskinsf.com.
All right, welcome back to Rick and Rick Rule the World. Rick Matheson here with Rick Wooten. And yeah, Rick Wooten, are you ready to play Loaded Questions?
I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
All right, question number 1. Which of the following has their own new podcast adventure series on HBO Max? A. Superman and Lois. B. King Shark and Ratcatcher 2. C. Batman and Robin. Or D. Zan and Jaina of Wonder Twins Powers Activate fame. Which of these has a new podcast adventure series on HBO Max?
Jeez, I don't know, but I'm hoping King Shark's in one of them.
I wish so too.
Let's go with that one.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. He's on that other HBO show though, but no, here the answer is C. Batman, and more Batman. It's a whole new audio podcast on HBO Max, and fortunately I saw the other day it is also now on iTunes, which is good. But the publicity for the series said that it's kind of in the vein of Batman the Animated Series, but I listened to the first part of one of the episodes and it struck me more in the vein of a very specific Batman animated series, one called The Brave and the Bold. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it had a very Silver Age Batman, and every episode he was teaming up with another hero. So it might be Superman or Aquaman or Plastic Man. But it was always done kind of tongue-in-cheek with a taste of sort of the campiness of the old Adam West series. Well, that's like this. This show, I believe, is from a former writer for SNL. It stars Jeffrey Wright. So Jeffrey Wright is Bernard from Westworld, but he's also the same actor who is playing Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman movie. Here he stars as Batman himself. And this series stars Rosario Dawson as Catwoman, John Leguizamo as the Riddler, Seth Meyers from Late Night with Seth Meyers, Tim Meadows, Bobby Moynihan, Jason Sudeikis from Ted Lasso, and Kenan Thompson, as well as Brooke Shields as Vicky Vale and Brent Spiner, Data from Star Trek, as the Joker. So you can find it on HBO Max and iTunes. Worth a listen, but it's definitely, it's a more tongue-in-cheek than you might imagine a more modern Batman to be. So worth checking out.
That's cool.
Yeah. Question number 2. We talked about America's most trusted brands overall, but which of the following is the most trusted tech brand, according to the tech survey of tech brands from The Verge? Is it A, Facebook, B, Google, C, Microsoft, D, Apple, or E, rickandrick.com? Which of these is the most trusted tech brand? A, Facebook, B, Google, C, Microsoft, D, Apple, or E, rickandrick.com?
As much as I wished it was us, I'm going to go with Apple.
I would have guessed that as well, my friend, but no. Here the answer is B, Google. So The Verge has released its annual trust survey of tech brands, and it had some surprising and maybe just sad findings. According to the survey, the most trusted tech brand is search giant Google, followed by search giant Google's video search giant YouTube. And others include, yes, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. So yeah, Google. Struck me as maybe it's a question of who do you not trust least? I don't know. I personally would have put Apple at the top of the trusted list and then maybe Microsoft. Google, I'm not sure would have been in my top 5. What is encouraging is that I don't believe Facebook was in this top 5 for some crazy reason.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. Yeah, you know what I think is kind of interesting is what tends to happen with these tech brands is people are very excited about them and very trusting of them until they reach a certain size. And once they kind of reach that Goliath stage, then the sentiment flips and then they worry that they have too much information, that they can take advantage of it too much. And I think, to the point of Apple or Amazon or, Facebook, every one of those, once they reach a certain size, the trust level started to erode.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. But for that very reason, too. I mean, I think Apple at least puts some kind of, in my view anyway, puts at least some kind of modicum of effort toward protecting user privacy. And it seems like the others are lackluster by comparison anyway. There are reasons to be afraid of a Amazon or a Facebook or some others.
Okay.
So I'm just surprised to see Google come up tops here. All right, third and final question. According to reports, which of the following Star Trek technologies may soon become a reality? A, the transporter device. B, the tricorder, C, the holodeck, or D, Mr. Spock's 3-in-1 earwax remover, eyebrow tweezer, and spinning bowl hair cutting machine? Which of these Star Trek technologies may soon become a reality?
I've seen articles on both the holodeck and on the tricorder. So I'm not sure what's been in the news lately. So I'm going to guess tricorder.
Oh, bummer. No, it is the holodeck in this case.
Okay.
So according to Inverse, the holodeck, that immersive, realistic 3D holographic environment that was first featured in the Star Trek animated series with Captain Kirk in the original cast, before figuring so prominently in Star Trek The Next Generation. So according to Inverse, scientists at the University of Glasgow are working on a system of holograms that use, quote, aeropathics for creating feelings of touch with jets of air. So you can, for instance, experience a handshake with a holographic character, or even throw fisticuffs in a smackdown between Ronald McDonald and Colonel Sanders. Bring it, greasy fingers. You got it, ass clown. So this is pretty interesting. And Invoice points out that the concept of holodeck is a variation on a 19th century illusion technique known as Pepper's Ghost, which uses glass and mirrors to make a two-dimensional image appear to hover in space without the need of any additional equipment. I was not familiar with that. I'd like to see if there's some example of that. I'd love to see that. But we were just talking about this. So the flip phone, the iPad, the desktop computer, voice computing, the space shuttle, and now Captain Kirk going into freaking outer space. Another milestone for Star Trek.
Cool. That's really cool.
All right. I think that's got to do it for us this week. So we've got to be like Adams and Split. Rick Wooten, where can folks find you online?
They can always find me on Twitter. I'm at Wooten, Wootten. And how about yourself, Rick?
You can find me at Rick Matheson on Twitter, and you can find all of our social channels, listen to past episodes, and more at rickandrick.com. Until next time, stay safe, keep each other safe, and keep on coming back to the one show where everybody's name is Rick.
And everybody rules the world.